Picture this, a car so incredibly rare, only 2 were ever built. Then, one of them smashes records, selling for a jaw-dropping $143 million. Just like that, it becomes the most valuable car ever to hit the auction block. We're talking about the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut coupe. Its engine? A masterpiece of 1950s engineering that cranked out performance that'd still make some modern sports cars sweat. This isn't just a car, it's pure legend, with a mechanical heart light years ahead of its day. Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're going on a special trip. Not just looking at cars, but diving into the very souls of some of the rarest machines on the planet. We'll be cracking open the engine bays of priceless classics that whisper tales of a bygone era, and hyper-modern hypercars that pretty much laugh in the face of physics. These vehicles are way more than just transportation. They're rolling sculptures, mechanical symphonies, and every single one has an engine that's a testament to the peak of human engineering and bold design. Get ready to discover the amazing innovations and sheer passion that make these engines genuine masterpieces, grabbing the attention of collectors, enthusiasts, and really anyone who appreciates incredible mechanical art. So what goes into making the engine for one of these super rare cars, whether it's an old classic or a boundary-pushing hypercar? Well, it's a massive undertaking, full of huge challenges. You can't just pick parts off the shelf. The folks building these magnificent machines have a giant task on their hands to push the very limits of known technology. This often means they have to invent brand new materials, try out unproven manufacturing techniques, and totally reimagine what's possible, all to achieve unbelievable levels of power, blistering speed, and rock-solid reliability. Think about the classic car era. Engineers back then faced all sorts of technological limitations. Their real genius was in squeezing every last ounce of performance out of what they had through sheer mechanical smarts, turning relatively simple components into powerhouses that could dominate on the road and track. They didn't have fancy computer simulations or exotic composite materials. They had slide rules, gut feelings, and an absolute dedication to excellence. Now, jump to today's hypercars. The challenges are different, sure, but just as tough. Modern engineers are wrestling with integrating incredibly complex electronic systems, using featherlight yet unbelievably strong materials like carbon fiber and titanium alloys, and trying to tame extreme power outputs that can blow past 1,500 horsepower. And they have to do all this while making sure the resulting machine is not only reliable, but also meets increasingly strict global emission standards. It's a delicate dance between raw power and environmental responsibility. And then there's the big one, the cost. Developing a custom engine, one that's only going into a handful of cars, is an eye-wateringly expensive business. We're talking tens, sometimes hundreds, of millions of dollars poured into research, development, and testing, often with no solid guarantee of widespread success or even getting that initial investment back. Each component is frequently a little work of art in itself, hand-built by master technicians, meticulously tested, sometimes even to the point of destruction, just to ensure it can handle the incredible forces it's going to face. These parts are often made from exotic, aerospace-grade materials that make normal automotive budgets look tiny. The result? Engines that are as scarce, as meticulously crafted, and often as unbelievably valuable as the rare automotive jewels they power. Our dive into these mechanical marvels starts with a real pioneer, a whisper from the dawn of luxury cars. The Rolls-Royce 15 horsepower, first shown to the world way back in 1904. In a time when cars were still a new thing, a curiosity finding their place, this machine was a bold statement. It's thought that only 6 of these were ever made, and today, only one is known to still exist, making it almost a mythical beast in the car world. Under the hood, a 3-cylinder, 3.0-liter engine. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 3-cylinder? Sounds modest by today's standards, right? But back in 1904, this was carefully thought-out engineering. Henry Royce chose this setup because it ran smoother than the more common twin-cylinder engines of the day, and it was simpler to build than a 6-cylinder with its long crankshaft that could vibrate a lot. Interestingly, Royce was building his engine range using a standard 2-cylinder block, combining them to make 4-cylinder units, and planning 3 for a 6-cylinder. The 3-cylinder 15 horsepower, with its cylinders cast separately, didn't quite fit this modular plan, which might be one reason it's so rare. This engine, with a 4-inch bore and a 5-inch stroke, had overhead inlet valves and side exhaust valves, a common setup for the time, but done with Royce's growing commitment to quality. It put out around 15 horsepower at a pretty relaxed 1,000 RPM. While that number seems tiny now, it was enough to get the car to a top speed of about 39 miles per hour, a decent speed when roads were often just bumpy tracks. The 15 horsepower engine was water-cooled and had a high-tension ignition system. It was a testament to early ambition, showing off the reliability and smoothness that would become the foundation of the Rolls-Royce legend. It really proved that even in the early days of the car, the drive for engineering excellence was strong. Next, we jump forward half a century to meet the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut coupe. From 1955, a car that truly blurred the lines between a road-going GT and a dominant racing machine. Like we said, only 2 of these Silver Arrow coupes were ever built. They were designed by Daimler-Benz's motorsport boss, Rudolf Uhlenhaut, basically as road-legal versions of the W196R Grand Prix car, which was already a world-beater. One became his personal car, capable of nearly 180 miles per hour, making it arguably the fastest road car in the world at that time. So what powered this beast? A 3.0-liter straight-8 engine mounted lengthways, an enlarged and tweaked version of the 2.5-liter Formula One engine. This M196S engine produced around 302 horsepower, a massive figure for the mid-1950s. One of its most advanced features was direct fuel injection, a technology Mercedes borrowed from their World War II aircraft engines and super rare in road cars back then. This system, way more precise than the carburetors of the day, really helped the engine's power and efficiency. The engine also had desmodromic valves, where the valves are closed by a cam and rocker arm system instead of regular springs. This allowed for higher engine speeds and more precise valve control, stopping valve float at high RPMs, critical for a racing-derived engine. Legend has it that Sterling Moss once revved his 300 SLR race car, which shared this engine base, to 10,000 RPM without it blowing up, a testament to its tough design. The engine block itself was made of a lightweight magnesium-aluminum alloy to save weight, a key factor in its performance. Power went through a 5-speed transaxle gearbox, which also helped the car's balance. The Uhlenhaut coupe wasn't just powerful, it was a showcase of cutting-edge race technology wrapped up for the road, an engineer's dream come true. From the peak of 1950s German engineering, we head to Italy, to a name that means passion and performance: Ferrari. We're talking about the Ferrari 250 GTO, built between 1962 and 1964. Only 36 were ever made, and every single one is now seen as a top prize in any collection, often fetching mind-boggling prices at auction. The O in GTO stands for omologato, which is Italian for homologated, as it was built to race in FIA Group 3 Grand Touring Car events. Lift that exquisitely sculpted hood, designed by Scaglietti, and you'd find Gioacchino Colombo's legendary 3.0-liter V12 engine, the Tipo 168/62. This was a seriously developed version of the Colombo Off-Fi 12 that had already powered tons of Ferrari wins. For the GTO, it was brought up to Testarossa specs, kicking out around 300 horsepower at a screaming 7,500 RPM. Key to its performance were 6 twin-choke Weber carburetors sitting in the V of the engine, mounted on magnesium alloy inlet manifolds. The engine had a single overhead camshaft per bank, SOHC, and 2 valves per cylinder. The block was cast in Saluminum, an aluminum alloy with cast-iron wet cylinder liners for durability. It used dry sump lubrication, a racing feature that stopped oil starvation during fast cornering and let the engine sit lower in the chassis, improving the car's center of gravity. The crankshaft was machined from a single steel billet, as were the connecting rods, showing off the sturdy construction needed for endurance racing. This potent V12 was paired with a new 5-speed all-synchromesh gearbox, a big step up from earlier Ferrari transmissions. The 250 GTO's engine wasn't just about raw power, it was famous for its reliability, a huge factor in its dominance on the world's racing circuits, winning the International Championship for GT manufacturers for 3 years straight. It was a V12 masterpiece, perfectly balanced for both road and track. Now, let's jump into the 1990s, a decade that gave us one of the most iconic supercars ever, the McLaren F1. Built from 1992 to 1998, its engine is a story all by itself. Gordon Murray, the F1's visionary designer, had a very specific list of demands for its engine. Naturally aspirated for the best response and reliability, lightweight, and incredibly powerful. After approaching Honda, who said no, the search eventually led to BMW's M division and the legendary engine designer Paul Rosche. The result was the BMW S70/2, a 6.1-liter, 60-degree V12 engine that was, and still is, an absolute masterpiece. It produced a staggering 627 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, actually beating Murray's original power targets. Amazingly, this powerhouse weighed only 266 kilograms, 586 pounds, thanks to using a lot of aluminum alloys for the block and heads. The engine featured dual overhead camshafts per bank, 4 valves per cylinder, and BMW's then-new VANOS variable valve timing technology, which helped optimize power delivery across the rev range. Each cylinder had its own throttle body for lightning-fast throttle response. One of the F1 engine's most famous visual features is its gold foil-lined engine bay. And that wasn't just for looks. Gold is an excellent heat reflector, and it was needed to protect the carbon fiber monocoque chassis from the immense heat thrown off by the V12. The S70/2 also used a dry sump lubrication system, essential for a car that could take corners at such high speeds. Despite its complexity and high output, over 100 horsepower per liter for a naturally aspirated engine was incredible at the time. The S70/2 proved to be incredibly reliable, even powering the McLaren F1 GTR to victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1995. This engine wasn't just a part, it was the heart that defined the McLaren F1's soul, delivering a raw, thrilling experience that's still legendary. Our next stop is with a manufacturer known for always pushing the limits of internal combustion tech, Koenigsegg. Specifically, we're looking at the engine intended for the Gemera, a car that redefines the whole Mega GT idea. This engine is affectionately nicknamed the Tiny Friendly Giant, or TFG for short, and honestly, the name totally fits. The TFG is a 2.0-liter, twin-turbocharged, 3-cylinder engine. Yep, you heard that right, just 3 cylinders. Yet, this small power plant is engineered to produce an absolutely astonishing 600 horsepower and 600 Newton-meters of torque. That's 300 horsepower per liter, a specific output that was, when announced, way ahead of any other production three-cylinder engine. The secret to this incredible performance lies in several key Koenigsegg innovations, most notably the free valve system. Free valve technology gets rid of camshafts completely. Instead, electro-hydraulic pneumatic actuators control each valve on its own. This allows for infinitely variable valve timing, lift, and duration, meaning the engine's breathing can be optimized for any situation, from maximum power to maximum efficiency, or even switching between two-stroke and four-stroke cycles. The TFG also uses a clever sequential turbocharging system. Each cylinder has two exhaust valves. At low RPMs, exhaust gases from one valve per cylinder spool up a smaller, more responsive turbo. As revs and load increase, the second exhaust valve opens, feeding a larger turbo to provide massive top-end power. This combination of free valve and advanced turbocharging lets the relatively small engine rev to 8,500 RPM and produce those headline figures. The engine is also designed to run on a variety of renewable fuels, like E85, making its friendly giant reputation even stronger by reducing its carbon footprint. Though Koenigsegg later announced the Gemera would mostly feature a V8 option due to what customers wanted, the TFG remains an incredible statement of engineering skill and a peek into the future potential of the internal combustion engine. Finally, we arrive at a modern giant of automotive extravagance, the C. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Unveiled in 2019 as a one-off tribute to Jean Bugatti's lost Type 57 SC Atlantic, this car isn't just rare, it's unique, carrying a price tag reportedly around $18.7 million. And at its heart beats an engine that is nothing short of legendary. Powering La Voiture Noire is Bugatti's iconic 8.0-liter, quad-turbocharged W16 engine, the same colossal power plant found in the Chiron. This isn't just an engine, it's a symphony of 16 cylinders arranged in a W configuration, force-fed by 4 turbochargers. It delivers a truly monumental 1,500 horsepower and 1,600 newton-meters, or 1,180 pound-feet, of torque. The engineering needed to reliably get this level of performance is mind-boggling. The 4 turbochargers work sequentially. 2 smaller turbos spool up quickly to give instant throttle response and eliminate lag at lower RPMs. As the engine speed climbs, a pair of larger turbochargers join the fun, delivering a relentless wave of power that propels this land-based jet to speeds estimated around 260 miles per hour, with a 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint done in under 2.5 seconds. Managing the immense heat generated by such an engine is a critical challenge. Bugatti uses a highly sophisticated cooling system, likely featuring multiple radiators and intercoolers to keep temperatures in check even under extreme stress. The lubrication system also has to be incredibly robust to handle the forces at play. Power is channeled through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, specially commissioned from Ricardo, a company with extensive Formula One experience, to handle the titanic torque output. Every component of this powertrain is engineered with an almost fanatical attention to detail, tested rigorously to ensure it can withstand the incredible stresses. The W16 is more than just a collection of parts. It is the mechanical soul of Bugatti's modern era, a symbol of ultimate automotive power and engineering ambition. But even among all these titans of engineering, the sheer audacity of the Bugatti W16 engine in La Voiture Noire stands out as something truly special. Think about it. Harnessing 1,500 horsepower isn't just about slapping on more turbos. Bugatti had to get Ricardo, a Formula One supplier, to engineer a custom 7-speed dual-clutch transmission just to cope with that earth-moving torque. Every single component in that powertrain was pushed to its absolute limits, test it until it broke, to guarantee it wouldn't just perform, but last. The sequential turbocharging isn't just clever, it's a perfectly timed dance of precision engineering, ensuring that a colossal wave of power is there instantly, yet smoothly. This is technology so advanced, so uncompromising, it's rarely seen outside the super-competitive world of top-tier motorsport. This engine doesn't just power a car, it defines a legend, a statement that some engineering dreams are absolutely worth chasing, no matter how complex. So these engines we've explored today, they're so much more than just assemblies of metal and fire. They are the beating hearts of automotive history, the very soul of rolling masterpieces, from the pioneering spirit found in that early Rolls-Royce with its focus on smoothness and reliability, to the mind-bending complexity and raw power of a modern Bugatti W16, each engine tells a story. They represent the peak of human ingenuity, limitless ambition, and the never-ending quest for technical perfection. These aren't just engines, they are monuments to innovation,